Hey tubers, me again. Hey, today I'm going to show you how to actually clean, rebuild a carburetor, and in my mind, this is going to be 100%. So, a couple of the tools that you're going to need, and especially like if you're a first timer or if you're a guy in a shop that's trying to make the nut and make a couple bucks doing this stuff. Carburetors are the way to go. So like I usually charge 40 bucks for each one. That's with the kit included. That's whatever, $5-6 out of my pocket. Uh, but you can do them in less than an hour. So that's pretty good money. The problem is like everybody treats these things like electricity. It makes you real nervous. It gets you, it gives you that little voice in your head is saying like, I don't know about this. So the purpose of this video is to make you feel comfortable about doing this. If you're doing it for the first time, that's fine. Just follow along and you can do this. Same thing for like if the guy is out there, he's starting a shop or he's starting to work on these things, same thing. This is what I do. Maybe you'll pick up a tip or two, and it's gonna help you out. So a few of the things that you're gonna need is like, okay, I just go to Walmart. She's like, I'm not like, a snob for, though I have to use Snap-on tools or this or that. I just go and I get whatever works. So this stuff is usually under $3, and I can get about 3 carburetors, maybe 4 carburetors out of each can. Okay, these right here are the different tips that I use to clean with. I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to spray. Everybody doesn't want to spray them because they're worried about it getting on their camera. You need to see it. You got to see what it is that you're looking for, and definitely wear safety glasses, because if you get this stuff in your eyes, you're going to say, geesh, I wish I had my safety glasses. So you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, small enough to fit into the small screws on all of this, okay? So like this one happens to be magnetized. I like that. Some people don't. This right here is like a 5.5-inch self-centering punch. When you push down on it, it releases energy, and you're going to see where that comes into play for removing the Welsh plug. Now I'll tell you right now, 99% of the videos that you see out there, the guys are not going to touch that Welsh plug, because you know what? You got to take and put it in a vise, and some will use a drill, and some will start whacking it with a chisel and a hammer and all this stuff. It's like, and it's nerve-wracking. So that's why it gets overlooked all the time. It really is. And if you're wondering why, if you go into a shop, I mean, they got to pay for the lights, the employees and all that stuff. Why they're going to charge you 65 bucks is like, this is what they're going to be doing. Everything that I show you, this is what they're going to be doing. Hopefully 100%. So I also use this Craftsman pick. Doesn't have to be a Craftsman. Harbor Freight works. I have 2 different size these flathead punches, and you'll see where those come into play when I go to reinstall the Welsh plugs. We're doing this 100%, guys. We're going to clean out the jets, and so on this particular one, this is actually single D. It's a special wrench just for removing those jets. It goes right in here, and you'll see like when it fits, it just drops in. It'll only goes one way. Okay, so we'll get to that in a second. We're gonna do everything from, I see people struggle when they go to take and put in this little lever, and there's the little baby spring, and they're worried about it flying all over the shop, and with good reason. But here's the easiest way that I found, and I've done a lot of these things. About, I don't know, 10-30 seconds before you go to take and put this in, you're going to take and hold this the little lever in your fingers, and you're going to squeeze it. Okay, see where my fingers are all turning white right there? You're going to squeeze that, and like what you've done, let's see if I can get this thing to focus. There's the little pilot point that this thing has got to go and set on. See that right there? So now your fingers have got it all squished. I'm going to set that little spring. Hold on. We're doing this live. There is no editing on my videos. You guys know that. I'm going to take it, I'm going to put this in here. Oopsie. It's hard to look through the camera and do all this stuff at the same time, but okay, I'm going to put this spring in here. You see that? Then I'm going to pinch it with my fat little fingers. And I'm just holding it in there. Now I can go and I can shake it all around. That spring is in there. And it's just from my pudgy little fingers just holding that in there. I'm going to show you how to do all that stuff. Okay, so let's actually get right down to it. We've already burned up 5 minutes. So when you're taking this stuff apart, we're going to undo like under the primer bulb first. It's a little bit windy out here. Take all your parts, guys, and lay them out in the exact order that they come off of the carburetor. And then that way you're not going to miss anything when you go to take and put it all back. If you're going to replace the primer, pull that out and then switch it out. See how I'm just laying this stuff out? You're going to take and you're going to switch that out with all the new parts. Okay. Oops, I keep working off camera. Here's this one. Okay. That right there, that's the one-way valve for the pump. We're gonna switch that out. Here's the gasket and the diaphragm. Diaphragms always go and lay down on flat surfaces. Gasket goes on the side. It's ripping, no big deal. That it has all these little grooves in the plate because those are the little chambers. That's like, allows fuel to come in one side and then move over to another side during different strokes of the engine. Okay, so this goes like this goes like this. Now we're going to come over to the other side. Now we're over here on the metering side. I really don't think that there's a way to do this video real short, but we're going to do the best that we can. Here we go. We're taking off the metering. Oh, and by the way, when you guys go to reassemble it and you want to know like where that hole goes, it doesn't matter. That's just a vent, because when this thing is in operation, that metering diaphragm is just going up and down, and it acts like a bellows. And it just, like, if there was no vent, if that hole wasn't there, then it wouldn't be able to move. It would be like just stuck. So as long as the bolts, or the screws line up, it doesn't matter where it goes. So that answers that question. Here comes, this is the metering. The skinny part is the diaphragm, and then on the other side is the gasket. Not all of them will have the gasket on the bottom. 99% of them do. I'm going to show you what happens if you get that wrong. Okay? And what the symptoms are, like what to look for. So now we've got all this part taken out. Here comes to the part like where your voice is saying, I don't know about this. Just put your finger right on top of that little meter, that little lever. Note when it comes off, take a note of like how high this is sticking up. Okay, because you're going to want to get the new one back in there, looking pretty much the same. And again, I'm going to show you what happens if you don't do it. So you're going to pull this screw out. That's the beauty of a magnet screwdriver. And set that down there and just gently let it lift out. Okay, it's not going to go crazy. There's the lever arm and the pivot pin. There's the spring right there. There's the needle valve. See, it's all just laying right there. Okay. Everything that I've showed you right now, that's what 99% of you guys have all done in the past. Okay. Oh. Because that's what comes in the kit, and then when you're done, and when you put that kit away, there's parts that you never used. Here's a spring. I just took that, or the screen. I just took the screen out of it now. See it laying down here? God, I hope this thing is focusing. Come on. Okay, these are all my parts laid out. So this is where 99% of you guys have already gone. Okay, here's the part. There's jets underneath of there that need to be cleaned, or portals, passages that need to be cleaned. There's stuff underneath of this Welsh plug that needs to be cleaned. And then there's also these jets. Now, if there's a piece of junk that's stuck in underneath that needle jet right there, cleaning all this stuff isn't going to make any difference because it can't get past. That's the last place it passes before it goes and gets inside the barrel, the throttle body of the carburetor, and gets into the engine. So here we go. We got the single D wrench. We're going to take and pull this out. Always, 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 guys, the jet that goes to the block, that goes to the isolator block or the little black manifold or whatever it is that goes onto your engine, the one that's closest to the engine is always the low speed. I don't care if they put a L or or an H on there to designate what it is for you. You know, okay? So this is the low speed, okay? They're not always the same. If you see over here, while I'm getting everything prepped up, ready to do this, there's the L for the low speed. I'm just going to take that jet and I'm going to stick it through the paper towel. If I can get that under there. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm not going to get these things confused because that would suck. You get all the way through this thing and then like, oh man, this is like, I don't remember which way they go. Happens all the time. Okay, so now we're going to take, here's the high speed. These particular ones happen to be pretty similar, so it would make it very difficult. Okay, there's that one. Okay, we are now 99%. This is where you guys will get to. Pulling that plug out and pulling that plug out. It used to be nerve-wracking right up until you saw this video. So I'm going to take and zoom this in. Hopefully I remember to take the zoom off. And I'm going to show you how I take them out. And as far as I know, I'm the only guy that does this. So you see somebody else. Yay. Word spreading. Okay. There's this little one way over here. Right here, that little one. Like I said, it's all nerve-wracking. I'm just going to take and put this punch right in there. I'm trying to make sure that I stay on camera when I do this. Take that punch. Go right in the center. Can you see it? Just enough till you get like a little, once you make it concaved, and if you can get a little pinhole in there, that's all you need. Can you see that? See how I just deformed that? Take this little pick, stick it in there. No vise, no drill, no nothing. We took that one out. Same thing over here, guys. See that? You can go at an angle, or you can go straight at it using this centering punch. My punch is getting old. It doesn't want to. My punch doesn't want to punch anymore, boys. Same thing though. Usually only takes like 4 or 5. I'm getting a little right here. Let me get that in there. There's that one. Okay, no drill, no vise, no nothing. We got these out. Okay. Carb spray. Here's where this comes in handy. See all these little... Whoops, I got to take the zoom off. Hold on. There we go. So, carb spray. I take the straw, obviously, and I take and I cut it for different lengths. So, here I am now. I can put this tube in there, and I can start attaching this thing, just because this stuff's a little bit pricey. I'm going to take and I can stick this right on that tube, and watch. Cleared that port right out, 100%. Okay, there's no more on that, but I can come over here, and here's the other one. I can clean this one. So just by using that little straw adapter. There we go. See it? We're cleaning all this stuff out, 100%. If there's any varnish or gum in there, that's just an awesome way of doing it. Okay, we don't need this little fitting anymore. Take that one off. You can just go back to like using the straight spray right here, and then all these little jets, these little holes that we just did. Okay, I'm gonna give them a blast. Okay, can you see the daylight? Whoops, can you see the daylight right through there? That's where that little float valve sits. So you can take and put that in there. You can even use the hose. See it spraying out of there? Okay, we're cleaning everything we can get our hands on in here, boys and girls. Clean those, clean those, clean those, clean this where this Welch plug goes. All these little different ports. You can see them spraying out. See them spraying out. And then here's the cool thing. I take the fattest one that I have right here. I'm going to take and put that on here now.